Hey guys, so this is how to make a shaken cocktail. We're going to be using an espresso martini as the example. So what you'll need is to grab your cocktail shaker. Alright, get your ice in first. Now most of the time you are going to be using your ice first. So for an espresso martini you're obviously using coffee, so you'll add that first. You'll add your 30 mils of vodka. Again, practicing safe nip pouring techniques, keeping the nip pourer level. And you grab your Mr. Black espresso liqueur, chuck that one in, then you're going to give it a shake. Now there are a few different methods to shaking. Alright, the one that I like to use is the glass, and that's simply because of showmanship. So when you're shaking in front of the customer, you're shaking to the side, making sure that they can see everything through the glass. You can, however, use a lid if you're not comfortable with doing the glass. Alright, so as you're shaking, alright, yes, you're always going to go back and forward, but the way that you go back and forward is by rocking, like so. Yeah? Now you always try and keep it up around your shoulder. Again, that's the showmanship more than anything else. Alright, and as you're doing your back and forth, you can throw in a couple of swirls. Now it's completely up to you, but generally try to keep that rock going. Now the more that you shake, the more froth you're going to get. So if you shake viciously, like you should be for an espresso martini, you're going to get a lot more froth. To pop open the glass, what you'll need to do is give it a couple of taps. Alright, don't worry, you're not going to shatter the glass. Alright, if it does get stuck in there, use some warm water to get it through. Alright, now again, there are a couple of ways to strain. So what I like to do is hold the glass above so there's enough room for the liquid to get through, but not enough room for the ice to get through. And you can just start pouring through. Now another way you guys can do it, okay, is if one of these bad boys, just a strainer, you're going to clip it onto the top there and you're going to pour through the bottom. Right, and other cocktails as well, you will need to use a Boston strainer. So for an espresso martini, you don't really need to use one of them. I'm just using it for example. Okay, so you're going to pour your espresso martini in. Whoops, a bit much there. All the way to the top. Beautiful. Now espresso martinis need to have a bit of froth on top. Now to finish off this cocktail, what you'll need is a couple of coffee beans, which you're going to sprinkle on top, like so. 3 is a good amount. Now if you're using mint or anything like that, you'll need to balance it on the top. You can't just drop it in like I did. Alright, and if you're using fruit, the best thing to do is to cut the fruit through the centre and place it along the side. But these instructions will also be on the cocktail list. Hey guys, so here's a couple of simple ways to build and layer a cocktail. So the example I'm going to be using today is a Long Island iced tea. So what you'll need to do is you need to grab your glass, fill it up with ice, right? Add your base layer. So on the cocktail list it will give you specific instructions whether or not something is a base layer or if it's secondary. Alright, so you'll put in your base layer, which is just a bit of Coke, wait for that to settle down to the bottom. Alright, now generally you use a few different white liquors in a Long Island iced tea. I'm just going to be using water for this example. Okay, so again, practicing safe nip pouring technique, which is off to the side and then pouring in. Now you can use a spoon. Alright, you're going to put that along the side of the glass in between some of the ice and just pour, nice and easy, over the top of the spoon. And again, you're going to do the exact same thing. Right, this time we're going to do a 15 ml nip. And again, just putting it in with the spoon just above the layer. Right, and pouring over top, like so. That'll do. Usually for a Long Island iced tea, you do a lot more liquor than that. But for this purpose of this example, we'll just do it like this. Right, so that is how you layer a cocktail. Right, now if you are good enough, you can pour down the side. But for beginners, I recommend using a spoon. Right, now how to build a cocktail. We're going to be using the cocktail jug for example. Let me just fill her up with ice. So when you're doing cocktail jugs, the whole goal is to be quick, fast, efficient, right, and get it pumped out, all right, while still also keeping the quality high. So the first thing you're going to do for your cocktail jug, all right, is add your fruits, if you've got to add fruits. Then you'll start adding your alcohol layers. Or sorry, just the alcohol. Okay, like so. So most cocktail jugs have 3 to 4 liquors. Let's just do that many, for example. Okay, so you're going to pour in your alcohol, then you're going to add your mixer. Now using lemonade here. pour it to the top. So it doesn't matter if the ingredients mix, that is generally the whole goal of the cocktail drugs. Now a few cocktail drugs, we have some raspberry cordial, just going into the top for effect. Okay, so that is always the last thing that you add, and it's literally for looks. Okay, so for example, the Bleeding Midori, when we had that on, all right? You're gonna pour a little bit of raspberry cordial through the top, all right, and that'll descend through the beverage like so.